It's the weekly show about pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hello, everyone. Hello from the DC metro area. Gary is joining in a few minutes. Gary is also offsite. He is coming back from South by Southwest. I'm excited for him to join because I want him to tell me about everything that he did there. South by Southwest is a really cool show, not necessarily AV, but Logitech was there. There were movies that were coming out there. Gary met celebrities, by the way, or just stood in front of them long enough to get pictures of them. So I want to know the stories behind all of this. So I made him wait to explain all of the pictures he took until he could come on rAVe TV so that all of you could hear what was going on too. So yeah, and I'm in DC. Oh, Gary here. Oh, yes.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Do I sound okay?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, you're coming through your Mac though. You want
Does that sound okay, or you want me to try the other mics?
A little muffled.
How about that? Is that better?
A little bit. Oh, well now he's muted. So that, okay. Well, he's gonna come back. But yeah, he sent me all of these pictures last night and he was like, look, Paul Rudd, look, Nick Jonas. And I just want to know the context of this and what his students thought. He took a whole group of students to South by Southwest with him, which I think is really cool. And I am in DC because I was at Elmo's E4 experience yesterday teaching a course, and he's back. Hello, Gary.
Hey, how are you? Sorry to disrupt your live recording.
That's okay. Okay, you sound clearer now.
Okay, good. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm at the airport. I'm at an outdoor little parking area or park area here inside the terminal. So
amazing. Okay,
yeah.
I talked this up. So you're coming back from South by Southwest.
Yes. What an incredible show. Yeah, I got a lot out of it. I had a chance to obviously meet with brands in our industry, but also had a chance to talk to a bunch of people that are on the cursory of our industry. As you know, I teach advertising at the University of North Carolina, and I brought 12 of my students. There's some of them at the Logitech pop-up to Austin. I brought them to Austin, Texas with me. And there's Nathan from Logitech. Yeah. And they got to meet some pretty famous people. There's Nick Jonas. That was kind of a cool experience. There's Paul Rudd.
Nick Jonas?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, he got there. It's such a small place. Everybody comes up and talks to you and stuff. Yeah. Paul Rudd actually held the camera and did a selfie. I don't know, or with the students. This is one of my former students that I ran up on the road. Just as I heard, this is producer Liga. This is one of my former students. She graduated 2 years ago, and I'm walking down the street, and she goes, "Gary." So she lives in Austin now. Yeah. This is producer Patrick from Hollywood. He's a very opinionated person on what's going on in the world of entertainment. I had a chance to meet with him, and he met with my students while we were there.
Cool.
There's Andy Cohen. Yeah. Is that awesome or what? Yeah, he spoke at one of the. Yeah, he spoke at one of the sessions I was at, which was really a lot of fun. You know, I'm a big Andy Cohen fan. And then Lucina Fisher, she spoke to my students. She's got a documentary coming out. There's Steve Carell. He was there on yesterday's panel.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how close we were. Look how close we were. That's not even zoomed in. That's just like a regular picture right there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a great experience. It was a great experience for the students. I really loved the educational sessions that I went to. I learned a lot.
That's cool. Did you get to go? I know that there are some movie premieres there. Did you get to go watch the movies?
A couple. Most of the time, we went to a lot of the music stuff, and then of course we went to a lot of the sessions. They were more interested in the music stuff. But it was kind of funny how many actors and people were just Maddie Ziegler. I was a big fan of hers from Dance Moms. Little Maddie from Dance Moms. She was walking around on the street. It was kind of crazy, Yeah.
Maddie Ziegler.
Yeah. Just walking around the street.
Well, did you tell her you're a fan of her work?
I told her that my daughter and I watched her growing up. Yeah. So
And she's in all the Sia videos, and you like Sia too.
yeah, I do. I do like Sia. Sia wasn't here though, but the Lumineers played a free concert night
Cool.
before last. Luke Bryan played a free concert.
Oh,
Um, I can't remember all the Ty Dolla Sign, who I don't even really know him, but you probably do. He played a free concert
yeah, I
across the
know
street from our
Sia.
hotel. There's like 40 concerts going on at the same time, so it's kind of hard. It's overwhelming for anyone over the age of 30. How's that?
Well, Tim and Nathan said they want me to come too next year.
Yeah, I
So
think what we'll do is do rAVe TV live there next year. I think it'd
that
be a
would be
good idea.
so cool.
Yeah, and have
Live
the
from
students
South by Southwest.
produce it and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but but yeah, so a lot going on in the industry, huh?
Yeah, a lot going on in the industry. Before we get into everything, we have David Danto who's going to come on and be our guest today. I did just want to take a second to quickly remind everyone to go fill out our March 2026 temperature check survey. This one is all about thinking about how higher ed classrooms are built, how they're structured, how they're designed, and how they're used. Of course, many campuses still have traditional lecture style spaces, but there is a growing demand for environments that can support multiple teaching styles, very similar to Gary's classroom at UNC that we've showed on rAVe TV and on Launch and on all sorts of things before. Um, I think that in higher ed, we're still kind of figuring out what exactly flexibility means. Everyone said high flex for a minute. I don't know if that term is like still being used, but I
It
do
is.
think
Yeah,
it is. Okay. So I think that
yeah.
there is like a need and a want for more flexible higher ed spaces. So go fill out the survey. It's just 3 questions. And as always, we'll pick 2 winners to get $50 Amazon gift cards. So that is my reminder to all of you.
Very cool. And of course, we can't do this show without some amazing sponsors. And here's a piece from Crestron.
Muted. We're going to bring
Do you
on
hear those airplanes in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's so noisy.
But let's bring on David Danto. He wrote a new column this week. And before that, there was some big news that just broke, right, David?
Yeah, I'm bopping around with a neat center this morning because I'm all excited about it. We got out of breaking news this morning that ex Cisco collaboration lead Javed Khan has joined Neat as their new CEO. They've announced it this morning. He's got an all hands with the team in about, I don't know, hour and a half. I'll give everybody a sneak peek that Dave Michaels and I knew about it for a couple of days, and we had a conversation with him. So we're going to run that at about 10:30 this morning on all the
Nice.
social channels, and it's exciting to see him. He left Cisco to go to the automotive industry, and now he's coming back into the collaboration space. We keep pulling everybody back in, right? As Al Pacino said.
Yeah, right when I
You
figure him
you
out,
can't get rid of
pull
us.
me back in.
So we're excited for him. We're excited for Neat. Neat's doing some great things. They've got some incredible equipment, and they're making strides, and they're growing exponentially quickly. So it looks like it's going to be a great combination. Lots more, but that news just broke today. In fact, if you saw me looking to the side, I was typing to make sure that I had everything posted in time because we weren't allowed to post it until 9 a.m. this morning.
That's really awesome, though. Neat has been kind of sneaking up on us the past few years. Like, I've been hearing more and more about them when initially I just thought of them as like essentially a video bar manufacturer, when that's not true at all.
Well, This goes back to and Gary, you'll understand this, Steph. I don't know if you remember the Tandberg days. This is the diaspora. This is the Tandberg DNA going throughout the industry. You know, the board of NEAT, I think it's Oban Partners. I could be wrong about that, but you know, it's got OJ and Frederick Halvorsen and all the people that ran Tandberg in the day, and it's a lot of that. Oslo the design in. And a lot of the products, they keep them, slick and easy to use, and it's a great company, and I like the equipment. So I like other companies' equipment too. It's not that I'm on their payroll or anything, but it's nice to see that they've got their new CEO in place. Janine did a great job there, and now Javid's going to be running the reins for a little while. We'll see what the changes are.
No, this is exciting. And
So are you in Norway right now, Dave?
No, not at all. Mentally, I'm always on the fjords, but now I'm back in my crowded office in New Jersey, taking it all in after coming back from Enterprise Connect this year.
Okay.
the spirit longs for the fjords. So.
Exactly. Although this year it looks like I'm going to be doing Alaska and Hawaii on personal travel, so it's
nice.
like, why not?
Wow.
What the heck? I'm sorry, totally personal, nothing to do with anything.
No, that's amazing though. That's exciting. I've only been to Alaska once, but I totally recommend. There's a lot of good hiking if that's what you're into.
That, and we want to see the glaciers before they melt.
Yeah, see the glaciers. That'll be awesome. Okay, moving on. I would love to talk about Camp NY because you wrote this piece for rAVe. I posted it yesterday. Am I saying it right, or do you say it's CAMPNY? I feel like it's Camp.
No, Camp New York.
Yeah,
As I wrote in the article, it actually was short for something. Corporate and academia, multimedia professionals, and nobody knows that anymore. Everybody thinks I'm just making fun of campers and we're doing the summer camp thing. But we, I looked at the last event which we just had. If you look in that picture, I guess it was one of the lower right ones over there. The one we just did was one of the ones that are not our sit-down dinner. It was just our cocktail party. And I realized, we're at 24 years we've been doing this thing, and it's really been a long time, and it's been a great experience.
So for those who might not know what it is, explain a little bit about what you do. You pull all these people to a location in New York. What happens?
Yeah, so as I wrote in the article, I attended one of these in the broadcasting industry. My roots are in broadcasting, and I realized, we should really do this ourselves. Everybody pays their own way. I mean, I've been to any number of events that are sponsored. I do a few of these, at Infocom and ISC that are sponsored, that are great roundtable discussions. But this is a case where, if you want to come, all you need to do is tell me that you're in the industry and say you want to come. I'm not a gatekeeper at all. Everybody who wants to be there can be there. Everybody pays their own way. I keep the restaurant on hold, and I tell them how many people it'll be, and a couple of hours before the event, I pay the restaurant because everybody's paid me online. People show up. When we do the sit-down dinners, it's around a big square table, and we all sit and talk. And I'll typically have a topic or two to get it started, but on good events, I just have to sit back and like sip my Diet Coke and watch everybody else go at it and make sure there's only one person talking at a time, because we want to share these stories. Mm-hmm. And some days I'll have to bring in hey, what do you think of AI today? What do you think of this new device that came out? What do you think of NEAT's new CEO? And I've been doing them quarterly, and believe it or not, we've got one or two people that have been to all of them, other than me, and most of them anyway. And the new faces come in, old faces leave. Somebody says, hey, can I bring so and so? And it's like, yeah. And people realize they don't have an opportunity to network when there isn't an overarching thing going on. Like, hey, you can come to our event and network, but let me tell you about what this distributor does, or about what this manufacturer does, or here's our slide presentation. And to have that part of the event, which is the gold mine of talking with people, without any of those overarching, well, you've got to be at the session or the keynote or it actually brings out a lot of people and creates some great conversation and networking. And I've been told by people who attend that they actually do business there, that they've started deals because of the casual conversations with people that they've met.
That's awesome. How do you think it's changed throughout the years now that you've done it 24 times?
Wow. Well, the most obvious change is we don't do it for $50 a person anymore. I can't get into a restaurant unless I start at like 100, 120, and so but that's just the cost of eating and drinking in Manhattan. I think the nature of the people in the room have changed. There were a lot more people involved in pure collaboration in the day and more corporate broadcasting, and now we're more of a collaboration and IT crowd, but it varies and ebbs and flows. Um, the other change is that people start calling them by my name. They start calling them Danto dinners, which is fine. Again, I'm not making any money doing this, but if there's a reason for people to network and they go, I think it's awesome, and you make connections. And this is one of the things that I tried. The whole reason I wrote the article was not just to brag about doing these things. I've had people that have been colleagues of mine that just won't go. I'll say, hey, Crestron's doing an event or Shore's doing an event. Are you going to be there? Are you going to go? I'm tired. I've got kids to look after. I'm not really interested. And then, unfortunately, the way this industry works, 4 or 5 years down the road, they're looking for work and they haven't really networked. And I keep telling everybody the opportunity to network is always now. Whenever somebody invites you, whenever you can go and build your network and know who your contacts are, and that lets people build their careers. So I think it's very important. I always think this is a people business, not a technology business.
I think that's true. What's one thing that hosting all of these has taught you that you think you'll take with you forever?
Well, just as a side note, as a quick answer, I've learned that as the host, I get very little of the networking done myself. I'm so busy in terms of organizing and bringing people and everything else that I'll be lucky if I have 1 or 2 quick conversations with people. Other than that, I'm just kind of floating around dealing with things. I think what I've learned is that people will float from company to company to company in our industry, but the value of the connection is critical and important. So rather than have a connection with company A or company B or company C, which is good to have as professionals, as we do, we're working with them, I really want to talk with Jerry or with Mike or with Alice, because I don't know where they'll be the next time. And they don't know where I'll be. And my clients, as a consultant and an analyst, are often people that used to work for me or people that I've met at events, and we kind of support each other, and that's a really good thing to have in our industry, and it's kind of rare. And the good thing, people have walked up to me and told me, I loved what you did so much, but I can't get to New York or I can't get to Infocom. So we started one ourselves in Utah, or we started one ourselves in Cleveland. The folks in California, that's been the hardest venue for us because they'll generally never do anything after work. But that's spurring on the networking is the best thing that I've learned and enjoyed.
Well, you're a good networker, though. I feel like at any event I've been to with you, you've been like, oh, let me introduce you to so-and-so. Let me introduce you to so-and-so. You're very good at, a lot of people.
Being a matchmaker has helped, and I enjoy that. And it also hides the fact that I'm an introvert. Because if I've got a role, I'm going to be the person introducing, and I know what my goal is, and I know what everybody's job is in the room, that masks the fact that if that wasn't happening, I'd be sitting in the corner of the room playing on my phone, because I'm fighting the introverted aspects of myself.
That's a lot. Most of our industry are introverts, though, I would argue. So I feel like networking can kind of feel like pulling teeth sometimes. So you just almost have to, in a smaller event like yours, it's almost like a safer space than just being pushed onto the show floor at Infocom and being told to go find someone to talk to. That's very daunting.
It's great, but I'm sure the two of you have the same experience. Gary, I'm sure you have the experience as well. It's difficult navigating an Infocom or an ISE, because as you're walking to the meeting that you're late for, you're being stopped every couple of feet. Sometimes you're hugging people, sometimes you're having a quick conversation. You have to. And many times, I'm a little grayer than you guys. So many times I don't remember the name of the person I'm talking to. I remember the person, but I don't remember the name. That's why the badges are good.
Yes.
But that comes from networking, is everybody knows you.
That's so true. Gary especially, he can't walk 2 feet on a show floor without someone stopping.
I haven't met either of these people, so-and-so. You said that you met 2 so-and-sos, and I haven't met either one of them, so I can't wait to meet them.
I'll introduce you.
That's good. And Gary, I'm sure same thing. It's not just walking, it's standing still. God pity us if we stand still in a corner for a second, then people will come up.
It's a crowd. It's a
You're
crowd.
holding court. Yes.
But I love that at shows. That's what I go to shows for. That's what I crave, is to be able to talk to people and find out what they're thinking about, what they're doing. So it doesn't bother me. I really enjoy it. But you're correct that sometimes it can stress you to be late. But,
well, most of the showrooming doesn't exist anymore. You guys remember the projection shootout, or when we looked at prepared products. Everybody has their own show and their own displays nowadays. We go to these events, to meet people, to hear
Yeah.
what's going on, and that's the most valuable part.
That's
Yeah. Well, thank you for
absolutely
joining us, Dave. Really appreciate it, as always. And good luck on your event. I'm sure you don't need it, but good luck on the event. And yeah, this is awesome. Maybe I'll tell my daughter about it because she's in the industry and she lives in New York.
Well, I'll put both of you guys on the list for the next one, and we'll see
okay.
if you can make it out for that one,
Would
or
love
at
to.
least for
Perfect.
the
Perfect.
anniversary next year.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, as I mentioned, we have a few sponsors that help us do this. And I want you to check out this video on a new all-in-one pre-configured LED line of products from ViewSonic, a company that you probably don't think of very often for LED, but you should be.
All right.
Ilya from Microsoft is going to be doing the keynote at InfoComm 2026. He's the vice president of Microsoft. Basically, it's going to be about a lot about AI,
Yeah.
and he oversees the Microsoft Teams team, which is kind of hard to say, right? But ultimately, I'm sure he's going to talk a lot about AI and sort of how AI is infiltrated Teams, Teams rooms, Teams events, Teams premium,
Yeah.
and our industry is squarely in the Teams camp right now. It
We
seems
are.
like fewer and fewer Zoom users, but both platforms are still big, and you've got the emerging platform of Google Meet. So, but he'll be doing the keynote.
Does Infocom always have a keynote?
It went many, many years without a keynote, but now they do. I think this is the second year they brought it back, maybe.
Okay.
ISE, of course, has always had a keynote. I think doing the keynote is controversial because all the big brands that spend all the money want their person to be the keynote speaker. And so I think it's tough to do something like that. But, I think it's in this case, you know, everyone kind of wants to know the latest with Microsoft. It's sort of like they're sort of like the Apple-ish company in our industry. You know how when Apple has a conference, they introduce new phones, everybody pays attention. Microsoft introducing new features to Teams, people pay attention. But obviously, if he doesn't keep it interesting and only talk about Microsoft, I think that will frustrate people. But ultimately, it'll probably be a good keynote.
I agree. I almost think that keynotes at trade shows should always be like someone completely separate from the industry, like someone who can speak like more broadly about the future of tech or something like that. Like I've always gotten the most out of keynotes when it's someone like completely separate from us almost.
Yeah, and for example, South by Southwest, the keynote speaker was Steven Spielberg, and
That's cool.
he could talk about a lot of different kinds of things, but he
Yeah.
focused on sort of how technology's changed the industry and it's how it's impacted the business he does. The business he's in. I thought it was phenomenal. He wasn't selling anything, wasn't pushing anything, wasn't talking about anything specific that you should buy. But yeah, I don't disagree. I think we'll see. I mean, like obviously Microsoft's a giant company, very well respected. Ilya knows his stuff. He's a smart guy. So
Yeah,
he will be interesting to watch because he is a good presenter.
absolutely. Well, we will cover it. So next up, GPO Display. They launched a new 57-inch Ultra HD panoramic LCD. Of course, this is going to be for your digital signage situations. This has a 700 nit brightness, LED edge lit panel, anti-glare coating. So of course, for like a really high traffic area, this is going to be great for like wayfinding, emergency messaging, any kind of application where a standard display size is not really going to be effective. So room status, advertising, anything like that. So good for like a meeting room availability indicator, directional messaging, promotional content in a retail store even. And it features 50,000 plus hours of performance and 24/7 operational reliability. So again, perfect for a digital signage scenario where this has to be on all the time. You're muted,
Education is
Gary.
now being distributed by, oh, am I muted?
You're there
How
now.
about now? Yeah, there you go. Photon education is now being distributed by Midwich. I'm going to do two stories in a row because that story really only affects one distributor. But also, Crestron launched Extron launched a new DTP3 Crosspoint 42 USB matrix switcher. This one's kind of interesting because Steph, it's a 4x2 matrix that has it's a 10 gigabit processing, which means you can do full 4K, right? But it has USB and HDMI. So that's kind of an interesting sort of hybrid kind of application. And it can do USB to extension as well. And of course, you can send everything out on a Cat5 cable because it's HDBaseT as well. It'll charge your laptop, all that kind of stuff. It's really kind of a cool. It's a cool product.
Absolutely. And then last thing is kind of a piece of industry news. This was something that Wirestorm talked about at ISE. It is now official. They have launched the Wirestorm Academy, their AV professional training platform, which is custom built, completely online platform for professionals in the industry. It provides them with structured learning, knowledge, and cert pathways so that you can get some certifications. It has 2 foundational courses, and then there is also a specific course for Wirestorm Asia. So definitely go and check it out. The first one provides a 45 minutes of video learning and knowledge assets. And then there's a 75-minute training and then 11 tests. And I think that you have to watch at least 90% of the video content and get at least an 80 on the assessments to complete the course and get your cert. So check it out.
All right. And we have another sponsor of rAVe TV who's been there since the very beginning, and that's Shure. And they want to just check out this message from them. It talks about the importance of communication and the part they play in our industry.
Understanding, it's what we're all after. In lectures where ideas ignite. In teamwork, uniting people and perspectives. In everything, we strive to understand clearly. Connect deeply, because when we collaborate better, we dream bigger. And when we dream bigger, we can change the world.
Perfect. Well, one last story here. This one is from givingback.tech. This is launched. It is a sustainability effort for repurposing AV equipment. I'm excited to see a few of these kind of pop up throughout our industry. This one aims to provide UK-specific charities and community interest companies with AV equipment through repurposed materials. So they take some of these that, would initially be given to a landfill, and they repurpose them into places like hospitals that need a cinema area for kids who are getting better, and a few other similar local charities. So check out, go to givingback.tech and check out everything that they're doing. They're a pretty cool organization, and I'd love to have them on to talk a little bit more about what they do. So yeah. Oh, Gary.
Coming up.
There you go. You're good now.
All right. We have a couple of virtual events coming up. Rooms to Respond is on March 19th, which is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Steph, tell me about that event because I don't know much about that one.
Yeah, so it kind of goes with the temp check that I was doing this year about how hybrid and classrooms that are able to move around and have different functionalities are gaining popularity in our industry. And I wanted to see if that was real. So I invited someone who kind of does some integration work, kind of an in-house integrator, but also an advisor at UCLA to come on, and then also an integrator who's done some work in some universities to come on. And they're going to tell me a little bit about is this real, what they're seeing in the market. So yeah, again, that's tomorrow at 2 Eastern.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
And there's Sony, of course, is partnering with us on a launch and learn, planning a direct view LED wall. Everything you need to know before buying. And this one is aimed to IT managers and AV managers, tech managers, and users. Okay, so if you have any customers and you sell Sony, you should tell them about it. If you're an end user watching our show, you should check this out. This is on March 24th next week at 2 p.m. You can register by going to launch.com, lavnch.com.
Very cool. And then the last one is also kind of for those AV IT end users, even some security end users. This is amplifying safety, security integrators pipeline into audio systems. This is March 31st, 2 p.m. And this one is sponsored by Atlas IED. So definitely come and check this one out as well. But
Well,
yeah,
that's it, right?
that's our show.
Yeah, pretty good.
Absolutely.
Big busy show, and we only are 1 minute over.
I know, isn't that a shocker? Because usually you and I are yappers.
Yeah, we shut up on that long enough to let Dave Dante talk. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone. We come to you live every Wednesday on all the platforms, and of course, you can always watch our shows and pass them on to your friends and colleagues by going to ravepubs.com. Click on the Rave TV link, I should say, at the very top. Everyone, have a great day.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next week.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph